Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Timeless English Stories. Take a slow breath, settle into your place, and let this story carry you across time. And before we begin, please subscribe to Timeless English Stories right now. We share a new true story every single day, always at this same gentle pace, always here to help you learn English naturally. Imagine a small hospital room. It is almost midnight. A boy lies awake in the dark. He is 15 years old. On the floor, next to his bed, there is a pair of football boots. They are clean, too clean. No mud, no grass stains, nothing. For 2 long weeks, this boy has not touched a football field. A machine beeps beside him, quiet, steady. It counts every beat of his heart. Outside, in the hallway, nurses walk past his door. Their shoes make almost no sound. The boy watches the light move under the door, then disappear. He cannot sleep. How did a boy this young end up here, alone, so far from home? What happened to him? In the weeks before tonight. Tomorrow morning, doctors will do something strange. They will send small tools deep inside his body, through his blood, all the way up to his heart. They want to fix a problem hiding inside him. A problem that for 2 long weeks, nobody outside this hospital has known about. Here is the strange part. This boy already knows he is talented. His coaches already whisper about his future. But tonight, none of that matters. Tonight, there is only one thing on his mind. The moment, just days ago, when everything first started to go wrong. That same boy grew up to score more than 900 goals. Today, his face is known almost everywhere on earth. But almost nobody knows about that night. Almost nobody knows exactly how it happened, or what he had to go through to get past it. Stay with me, my friend. This is Cristiano Ronaldo. And this is a story that will take us across an entire lifetime, starting with a secret his own family kept hidden for years. Let's go back further, before the hospital, before the fear. Let's start with a small island and a boy who had almost nothing. Cristiano Ronaldo was born in 1985 on the island of Madeira in Portugal. His family was poor, very poor. They lived in a small house with one room shared by his parents and his 3 older brothers and sisters. Sometimes, there was not enough food for everyone at the table. His father worked at a local football club, but not as a player. He cleaned the boots of other men. He washed their shirts after every match. Every day, he touched football, but never played it for money. Maybe that is why, from a very young age, Cristiano wanted something different for himself. 2 doors seemed closed to him from the very beginning. First, his family had no money to send him to a big, famous academy. Rich families could pay for extra coaches, better boots, private training. Ronaldo's family could not. Second, and this door would not close until years later, his own body carried a secret, a dangerous one. Nobody knew it yet, not even him. But here is what made this boy different, even at 7 or 8 years old. After his team finished training, and every other boy went home, Ronaldo often stayed behind, alone. He kicked the ball again and again into the fading evening light. Nobody told him to do this. Nobody clapped for him. He simply could not stop. This habit became his quiet strength, a strength almost nobody saw. But it came with a cost, too. Ronaldo was proud, stubborn even. If something hurt, he hid it. If he felt tired, he pushed through it anyway. He never wanted anyone to think he was weak. Hold on to that idea, my friend, because very soon, that same stubbornness would be tested in a way nobody expected. At 12 years old, Ronaldo left home. He said goodbye to his mother, his island, the sound of the sea outside his window. He moved to Lisbon, alone, to join a football academy called Sporting. Life there was hard. The boys trained every single day. They shared small rooms. They missed their families every single night. Ronaldo missed his mother's cooking. He missed his own bed, but he stayed, because football was the only door still open to him. By the time he turned 15, Ronaldo looked like a boy on the edge of something big. Coaches noticed his speed. They noticed how badly he wanted to win, even in small training games. Nothing seemed like it could stop him now, or so everyone believed. Nobody could have guessed what was about to happen. Every player at the academy had to take a normal medical test, nothing unusual. Doctors checked hearts, lungs, muscles, the normal things. Most boys walked in, walked out, and forgot about it within an hour. But when the doctor checked Ronaldo's heart, something did not look right. His heart was beating too fast. Not just after running hard. Even while he sat completely still, his heart raced, like he had just finished a sprint. The doctor did not say much at first. He simply asked Ronaldo to come back the next day for more tests. Can you imagine that moment, my friend? Sitting in a doctor's office, hearing "come back tomorrow," and not knowing why. What could possibly be wrong with a boy so strong, so fast, so full of energy? The next test used a special machine. It recorded Ronaldo's heartbeat for many hours, through an entire normal day. When the results came back, the doctor's face was serious. He explained it as simply as he could. Something inside Ronaldo's heart was sending extra signals, signals that made it beat far too fast, far too often. This is more dangerous than it sounds. Every year, somewhere in the world, a young athlete suddenly falls down on a field because of a hidden heart problem, just like this one. The doctor knew this. He was not going to take any chances with a 15-year-old boy's life. More tests were ordered. More waiting began. And through all of it, Ronaldo could not step onto the training field, not even once. 6 days. That is how long Ronaldo waited before the full results came back. 6 days of watching his teammates train through a window while he sat completely still, doing nothing at all. 6 days of wondering what the doctor would finally say, and what, exactly, had gone wrong inside him this whole time. Then came the day the doctor called him and his family in for a serious talk. The news was clear now, and heavy. Ronaldo's heart needed an operation. Without it, his heart could become dangerous during hard training, or worse, during a real match. The doctor gave him 2 paths, and only 2. Path 1, have the operation, with real risk, but a real chance to keep playing football. Path 2, stop football completely to protect his life. Imagine hearing that at 15 years old. Football was not just a hobby for Ronaldo. It was his family's hope. It was who he was. And now, his own body was asking him to choose between his heart and his dream. Have you ever had to make a huge decision, faster than you felt ready for? A decision that could change the rest of your life? What would you have chosen in his place? Ronaldo did not wait long. He chose the operation, not because he wasn't afraid. He was. But waiting felt worse than facing it head-on. He wanted the problem fixed, so he could return to the field as fast as possible. But choosing surgery was only the beginning. What came next was a strange, quiet battle that almost nobody outside that hospital would ever hear about. The days before the operation moved slowly, like heavy water. Ronaldo sat on the sidelines, watching. Every day, his teammates got a little faster, a little sharper, a little more ready for the season. Every day, he stayed exactly where he was. Have you ever felt like the whole world kept moving forward, while you had to stand completely still? Tell me in the comments below. That is exactly how those days felt for a 15-year-old boy who had never once, in his whole life, stopped moving forward. Finally, the day of the operation arrived. Doctors did not open Ronaldo's chest with a large cut, like older surgeries once did. Instead, they used a newer, gentler method. They guided thin tools through his blood, starting near his leg, moving all the way up toward his heart. Using careful, controlled energy, They found the exact spot causing the fast, extra heartbeats and fixed it. The whole operation took about 1 hour. 1 hour to change the entire direction of a 15-year-old's football career. When Ronaldo woke up afterward, everything felt strange and quiet. No pain in his chest, not really, just tiredness and a strange, empty feeling. Nobody could say yet exactly how well the operation had worked. That answer was still 2 long weeks away. 2 weeks of recovery followed. Slow days, careful days, no running, no jumping, nothing that could hurt his healing heart. And then, finally, the doctor called him back one more time. This test would show everything. What exactly had 2 weeks of rest and healing done to that fast, uneven heartbeat? The machine recorded his heartbeat again, just like before. This time, the doctor studied the results for a long moment. Then, slowly, he smiled, steady, strong, completely normal, in the healthiest way possible. He signed the paper, allowing Ronaldo to return to full training. That evening, back in his room, Ronaldo picked up his old boots, the same ones that had sat untouched on the floor for 2 long weeks. Slowly, carefully, he tied the laces, one by one. These boots had waited quietly through fear, through long waiting, through an entire operation. Now, finally, they were going back to work. Can you imagine how that first step onto the field must have felt, after so much silence and so much fear? What exactly went through his mind in that first moment back? The next morning, Ronaldo walked out toward the training ground. He stood at the edge of the field for a moment, just watching his teammates warm up without him, one last time. Then his coach called his name. For a second, everything went quiet in his mind. Then he stepped onto the grass. He started slowly, testing his legs, testing his breath. Then, without warning, he pushed faster. His coach watched closely, checking every movement, waiting for any sign of trouble. There was none. Ronaldo sprinted down the field, full speed, like the last 2 weeks had never happened. He controlled the ball perfectly. He turned sharply, again and again, testing a body he was not sure he could still fully trust. Nothing hurt. Nothing felt wrong. If anything, he felt stronger than before. His teammates had expected a careful return, step by step. Instead, they watched him attack every single drill like he was trying to prove something, to his coaches, to the doctors, maybe even to himself. By the end of that first practice, Ronaldo was smiling. The heart that had once frightened him now felt like his best friend. But the story does not end there. In fact, the strangest part was still to come. Here is the part of the story almost nobody knows. After such a frightening experience, you might expect Ronaldo's family to talk about it openly, maybe even proudly. Instead, they made the opposite choice. They kept it quiet, almost completely silent. Why? Because they were afraid. Afraid that big football clubs, hearing the words heart problem and operation, might see him as too risky to sign. Afraid that one medical report could close every remaining door before his career had even started. So the story stayed hidden, not for a few months, not for a year. For more than 10 years, almost nobody outside his closest circle knew what really happened in that hospital room in the year 2000. Only much later, as one of the most famous athletes on earth, did Ronaldo finally speak about it himself. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo is 39 years old. He is still playing professional football, still competing at the very top level, more than 2 decades after that quiet night in the hospital. Across his career, he has scored more than 900 official goals, a number no other player in football history has ever reached. He has won league titles in many countries. He has lifted the Champions League trophy 5 times. Record after record, year after year, his name keeps appearing at the very top. So here is the real question, my friend. Why did this one boy, poor, far from home, and nearly stopped by his own heart at 15, go on to reach so much more success than almost anyone else? There are 3 clear reasons. First, his early habit of training alone, with nobody watching and nobody clapping, built a habit of trying harder than almost anyone else. That habit did not disappear after the hospital. If anything, it grew stronger. Second, his decision to face the heart problem directly, choosing the harder, faster path instead of waiting or hiding from it. This became his way of handling every hard moment that came after. Injuries, losses, hard words from people. Again and again, he chose to face problems head-on, just like he did at 15. Third, one normal medical test, at exactly the right moment, caught a hidden danger before it was too late. Without that single test, without that one careful doctor, this story might have ended in a hospital room in the year 2000, quietly and forever. If this story happened today, it might look very different. In a world of phones and social media, a 15-year-old's heart operation would likely become public within hours, not decades. Fans everywhere would send support instantly. News would travel around the entire planet in minutes. But back then, in that small hospital room, there was only silence. A frightened boy, a pair of clean, untouched boots, and a secret nobody outside that room could know yet. And so, my friend, this story comes gently to its close. Those same boots, once left waiting quietly beside a hospital bed, have now traveled to some of the biggest stadiums on Earth. They carried a frightened 15-year-old boy back onto the field, one careful step at a time. They carried a grown man to 900 goals and counting. They remind us that fear does not need to be loud to be real, and that silence does not always mean weakness. Sometimes, the bravest moments in our lives happen exactly like this, quietly, privately, with almost nobody watching at all. Ronaldo's habit of training alone, without praise, without an audience, can teach us something simple today. Learning a new language works in a similar way. Nobody needs to watch you practice English for 10 quiet minutes each morning. Nobody needs to clap when you learn one new word before bed. Like a boy tying his boots alone in an empty hospital room, you can choose to keep going, quietly, every single day, even when nobody else is looking. So tell me honestly, my friend, which feels scarier to you? A silent fear that only you can see, or a challenge the whole world is watching? Write your answer in the comments below. I would love to read it. Until tomorrow, my friend, take care of yourself and never stop learning.